Hi everyone, welcome to English Wigadan YouTube channel. So today I am happy to teach you recommendations. So what is this recommendations? It is also part of technical English. So as we know, technical English is related with technology. So when we have a lot of new technology, we need to maintain them and preserve them. Sometimes we have to develop them. So in order to do that, we need to have set up suggestions. So another word for recommendation is suggestion. So like instruction, we have suggestion here. So instructions and suggestions are not so different. Okay, instructions are written starting with the verb, action verb, while recommendations are written with the subject, starting with the subject, plus modal auxiliary verbs, plus past participle of the verb. So in this way we write recommendations. So once again, recommendation means suggestions to maintain gadgets or preserve environment or certain things or develop certain skills. Let's see how to write suggestions or recommendations. There are different patterns for writing suggestions or recommendations. Starting with format 1. It is recommended. So certainly from recommendation we can take the word recommend. So recommend means suggest. So it is recommended. So it is a passive voice form. It is recommended to plus V1. V1 means present form of the verb. So it is recommended to use helmet while driving. So instead of recommended, we can also use suggest. So it is suggested to use helmet while driving. We can also use essential. It is essential to use helmet while driving. So instead of helmet, we can use another objects like a seat belt. It is recommended to it is recommended to wear seat belt while driving. It is suggested to wear seat belt while driving. It is essential to wear seat belt while driving. Now, how to use negative recommendation? We can also write negative recommendations, not to. So, negative is reflected by not to. So, it is recommended not to use water when cleaning electronic equipments. So, if you see in this sentence, there is recommended, that is, it is recommended the same format. Instead of negative, we say not to. So, it is recommended not to use water when cleaning electronic equipments. So, it is recommended not to use mobile phone or laptop near water or fire. So like that also you can write. Or it is essential not to use, or it is suggested not to use. Now let's go for format 2. So when we use format 2, we can bring the subject first. Instead of it is suggested, it is recommended, we can straight away use the subject plus modal auxiliary verb. Like here, patients should take medicine immediately. So this is a positive statement. Patients should take medicine immediately. Students should study well. So if you take negative, students should not waste their time. So not only not enough. So we need to not do. It is recommended not to. But here subject plus should plus not. Students should not waste their time. So it can be, any subject can be used. Format 3, use of modal auxiliary verbs. So that's what we have seen. Medicine should be taken immediately. Unhygienic food should not be given to patient. So here be is added. In the previous format 2 there was no be. So it's like a subject is doing. But here the passive voice. Medicines should be taken immediately. So unhygienic food should not be given to patients. So if you use like it is recommended or it is suggested, will come, it is suggested that medicines should be taken immediately. That is also correct. So it is suggested to take medicine immediately. So that is the most accurate one. It is suggested to take medicine immediately. So the same is written in this format, medicines should be taken immediately. So if we take unhygienic food also, we can use suggested. It is suggested not to give unhygienic food to the patients. So when we start with it is suggested, it is recommended, we use subject is after the verb. Okay, so otherwise in this format we use subject first, then modal auxiliary verb, then be plus past participle of the verb. So this is also one of the formats for writing recommendations. Now some exercise. Okay, let us see a sample of it. Write a set of 8 important recommendations for improving health services in government hospitals. So you might have seen government hospitals, how well or how dirty it looks. Okay, in some hospitals nowadays they keep very clean also. So if you are asked to keep your hospitals clean, what suggestion will you give? So that's the meaning of it. Let's see here how it is written. So in this answer you will see all types of formats are used. See here, first it is suggested or it is recommended. See here, it is suggested to appoint well experienced doctors and assistants. So the same can be written, well experienced doctors and assistants should be appointed. So that is also correct. This is another format. Okay, so you shouldn't get confused. So the same content can be written in different way. Well experienced doctors and assistants should be appointed. So here it is written, it is suggested to appoint. So it is recommended to appoint, or it is essential to appoint, or it is needed to appoint. So any format can be used. Now the next one. It is essential to build the hospitals with a good atmosphere. So first see the priorities. When we write the recommendations or instructions, we write according to the priority. Which is important, we write first. So if a hospital means what is important, there should be well experienced doctors and assistants. Secondly, there should be good atmosphere. So it is essential to build the hospitals with a good atmosphere without pollution. Then secondly, it is recommended to have proper check with the medicines and needles before applying to the patient. So that is also important. So we can even write it is important to have. That is also correct. It is insisted to provide 24 hours emergency services in every hospital, because hospital is run for people doing service to the people. So it should be available anytime. All the employees of the hospital should extend their services in a dedicated manner. Good transport facilities should be provided. So if there is a transport facility only, people can come easily. Basic needs of the patients should be ensured. The managing authority should always be watchful to prevent any discrimination. Regular camps should be arranged to mobilize the medical facilities for people living in remote areas. So you will see here, according to the priority, all the recommendations are written here one by one. So when you asked any questions related to recommendation, you have to prioritize and you can use any format. Okay, let us see some more questions. Write a set of 8 recommendations to meet the challenges of unemployment. Write a set of 8 important recommendations to avoid fire accident. Write a set of 8 important recommendations to maintain computer in good working condition. Write a set of 8 important recommendations to keep your city clean. So if you go through all these 4 questions, I think we are very well related and familiar with the third question. Write a set of 8 important recommendations to maintain computer in good working conditions. So we are always working with the help of computer, maybe mobile phone or laptop or whatever it is. Okay. So what we have to do, we know to maintain a computer, certain things are very, very necessary. Then you prioritize, which is very, very important. So computer means it should have good software, then antivirus should be there, it should have a separate place, it should be in a place where there is a cool free flow is there. So all these are important, and should not be near the fire, shouldn't be near water. So there should be proper ventilation, and proper service should be done. So regular service should be done and should be updated. So like this, all those things what are important to maintain computer, you write down first according to the priorities, then use the recommendation forms. So it is recommended to keep the computer in a separate room. So it is recommended to update the computer regularly. Okay, it is recommended not to keep the computer near water or fire. So like this you prioritize and write the answer. Okay, hope you understood what is recommendations and what are the different formats of recommendations, and now you are able to write set of recommendations. Thank you. See you in the next video.